Hey guys, it's Hayden here with another video. Today I want to talk about asking questions. I know I mentioned this in another video. I mentioned why asking questions is important. I kind of briefly talked about it, but I want to kind of elaborate on that and sort of explain why I think being curious and being investigative and critical thinking and stuff like that is so important. So some of you who have been following me recently have seen that I've been making a lot of changes. I've recently tried going vegan for a week, which went really well. I can definitely notice a difference. I feel much lighter, especially after I eat. I don't feel as heavy as I did when I ate food that had dairy products or meat products in it. So I'm thinking I'm going to continue it. We'll see how it goes. I've also been focusing on a mindfulness practice every day, morning and night, as well as maintaining mobility practice for flexibility, exercise, and just all around well-being. I've been really focusing on improving in those areas. And a lot of those changes, honestly, I can attribute to asking questions, specifically the question why. So I've noticed in the past when I've tried to have a sustainable mindfulness practice or have sustainable change in my life, whenever I didn't do something or whenever I didn't follow through with my plans or goals, I would immediately start chastising myself, being like, Hayden, why'd you do that? Why didn't you follow through? You should be doing this, you should be doing that. And really all that self-talk just led to more negativity, and eventually it just kind of fizzled out and the goal never manifested. I just kind of gave up on the goal because I just didn't feel good about what I did. So instead of just beating myself up and giving up, I found that asking questions, particularly asking why something happened, is much more helpful, much more useful than just starting to blame. And this probably applied to not just with oneself, but also with others. But I'm going to just talk about myself for today. So yeah, every time I feel like I don't want to meditate, or I feel like I don't want to do my exercises, or I don't want to work out, which usually doesn't happen because I enjoy exercise, I always ask why. Because usually I've noticed there's some kind of underlying emotion, some kind of underlying thought pattern that is present that is creating resistance or creating some kind of barrier for me to do that exercise. So if I investigate it, particularly in the morning, I found this is really helpful. Investigate sort of why I don't feel like I want to do something, and get curious about it. Almost every single time I've done this in the past couple weeks, there's been some kind of emotion that I've been repressing, and I didn't even know it. I just had to look and be like, why am I not wanting to do this? And sure enough, usually it's anxiety, or it's something has to do with my belief system or the thoughts that I have, thinking that I have to get rid of certain things in my meditation, like get rid of thoughts or get rid of emotions instead of just allowing them to be there. When I investigate and I look with a closer magnoscope, then I can sort of see what's happening and I can dissect it, and I'm able to move past that, or at least understand why I'm making that choice in the moment. And I found this helpful not only in my meditation or being able to exercise, but also in my daily life when I start to feel resistant towards something, or I start to feel angry or depressed, or any of those signals, emotional signals that are undesirable. Instead of resisting them and getting uncomfortable, I will start to ask myself a question. I'll be like, okay, I'm feeling this emotion. Why am I feeling this emotion? Is it something I'm thinking? Is it something that I'm resisting? So really opening up to that, I found that it actually is much more useful than just trying to push it away or ignore it, which is really what I've done for so long. That's basically my whole youth, was just trying to run away from the things that were uncomfortable. And the more you have some kind of practice or ritual that you can do every day and create some space for that investigation, the easier this investigation becomes, because you are able to move into that space much easier because you've established a practice. You've established something that you feel comfortable with. You understand how to ask questions and sort of allow yourself to investigate emotions and thoughts without too much preparation, because you can just hop right into it because you've practiced. So that's something that's important too, is to really be able to do that. I always say take time for yourself, and I mean it, because if you don't take time for yourself, if you don't take a little bit of time every day, or at least whenever you can, to sort of evaluate things and think about where you want to go moving forward, then life's just going to run you. You don't have a plan. You're just going to get run down over time, and then you're going to wonder how you got there. So it's important to take some time every day to check in with yourself, to make sure you're following sort of the track that you want to go on, or your goals that you have, or what you want to do moving forward. And you can't do everything at once, but if you have that understanding that you're taking that time for yourself to make something happen in the direction that you want to, then over time you can do a lot. Just a little bit every day adds up very quickly. Especially, if you're consistent, it's better to do a little bit every day than to try to do a whole lot at once and then burn out. So just chip at it slowly. And I'm saying all these things like I've mastered it. I haven't. Part of me sharing with you guys is to help me remember what's important, and it keeps me in check. By putting it on camera, it helps me to sort of remind myself of these things and remind myself why it's important to do what I'm talking about. I believe what I'm saying, but I also have to practice what I'm saying too. Basically, moral of the story, take time for yourself. Make sure to investigate what's going on. Don't just assume that something's wrong with you, or that you're unfixable, or you're broken. Just look at it. Take a look and see why this might be coming up. There's an answer there. Emotions don't just come out of the blue. There's something that you can do, even if you're bipolar, or you have depression, or you have anxiety, or things like that. There's always probably, I don't want to speak, I'm not a medical professional, so I can't really give advice in this respect, but I would say no matter what your disposition, there's always something you can do to make your life just a little bit better. So my recommendation would be to ask questions, investigate, take time for yourself, whether it be every day or, every 2 days or whenever you can, but make sure you're investing in yourself, because if you don't, nobody will. And I found that to be true. You have to make sure that you're taking that space and time for yourself, because you have value. I have value. Everybody has value, but you have to make sure you value yourself as well. So with that, I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope this was insightful. It was helpful for me to make this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, as always, guys, make sure to seek your truth and to take time for yourself. Thanks for watching.